the start of a pullback, or just another normal day? Hey there, Tom here from Fibonacci.com, your daily market recap. Like, subscribe, and let's see the charts. As usual on the daily market recaps, we'll go over the SPY, the Qs, the IW, the Dow Jones, all the Magnificent Seven, and many more interesting names. So don't fast forward, don't go anywhere. Let's start with the SPY. Ended up the day on the red side, 0.16% of the red side. Almost closed the gap. This gap is still open. We have a doji. We might see some kind of a pullback to the 552 area. But for now, as long as we are bullish on all time frames, we are still inside an uptrend channel until proven otherwise. 552.20 needs to hold. Otherwise, this gap, the 545, and then this gap at the 536 will get filled. Which gap will get filled first? The 545 or the 562? RSP, the equal weight ETF for the S&P 500, closed the day with a 0.4% to the downside. We have the support at the 170 that needs to hold. Otherwise, this gap will get filled. But until proven otherwise, we are still in an uptrend, bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly. One candle does not change the overall sentiment. QQQ closed the day with 0.21% to the downside, ended up the day with a doji. This gap is filled. Now the 484.62 area is the resistance. 473, the upper border of the yellow zone, is the support. Which gap will get filled first? The 565 or the 493? We know that more than 85-90% of all gaps, and it doesn't matter where they are, or how big or how small they are, they will get filled. Which one on the Qs? The 464 or the 493? Bullish on all time frames on the QQQ until proven otherwise. Dow Jones ended up the day on the red side, 0.13. 407 holding support. We have a doji after this bull run. This doji might signal a pullback. We have this gap at the 401 that needs to get filled. Overall, if we look left, what do we see on the Dow Jones? Lower highs. Look at this. Lower highs since the peak of July 18th. Lower highs, doji off a trend line. We might see a pullback. All we need to do is manage our risk because no one knows what will happen next. Once we know and once we truly understand price action, together with trend lines, Fibonacci, and of course gaps, then we can assume with up to 85% accuracy where price might be heading next. Look at the IWM. IWM is inside the yellow zone, and we said that once price is inside the yellow zone, it's a no trading zone. 1.17% to the downside, holding above the 50% retracement, the 212.70 area. Pullback, and this gap at the lower border of the yellow zone at the 208.90 area will get filled. Long continuation above the for the IWM only above 216.43, at least 2 trading days. Bitcoin, for time to time recording this video, Bitcoin still does nothing. No price action whatsoever on the Bitcoin. Between the 57 to the downside, 62 to the upside, inside the yellow zone, nothing much on Bitcoin. Magnificent 7 MAGS ETF, doji off the high border of the yellow zone of the 618 Fibonacci retracement, 0.31% to the downside. This doji might signal a trend reversal. We had a very nice bull run in the past 2 weeks. Some kind of a pullback. 44 area needs to hold the support. Long continuation, and we will see 46.55 and this gap at the 47.45 getting filled, but we'll not be surprised to see some kind of a pullback on the Magnificent 7, also on the SOXX that ended up the day with 1.32% to the downside, holding above the 50% retracement, pull back, and this gap at the 224 area will get filled, and a touch at the 221, the lower border of the yellow zone. Still bullish on all time frames until proven otherwise. Long continuation, and the 241 gap will get filled. KRE 1.87% to the downside. If Monday KRE tried to break above the yellow zone, Tuesday back inside the yellow zone, going back to close the gap at the 53 area will not be surprising. This is why I always say wait for at least 2 trading days breaking above the yellow zone to continue long continuation. The yellow zone is the most significant area of support and resistance. 2 days below and we continue to the downside. 2 days above and we continue to the upside. XLF closed the day with an inside candle. Doji 0.32% to the downside. All-time highs. Pullback to this gap at the 43 will not be surprising. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let's continue with Apple. Close the day with 0.27% to the upside. But if we look at Apple in the past 4 trading days, not much of a price action. Above the 222, below the 227, long continuation above the 227.50, and this gap at the 232 will get filled. Bullish on all time frames until proven otherwise on Apple. The good thing on Apple is no gaps to the downside. Microsoft, on the other hand, have this gap at the 408. And we know gaps are meant to get filled. Microsoft is inside the yellow zone, below the 50% retracement, closed the day with 0.78% to the upside, long continuation above the 50% retracement, above the 427, and we will go to the 436. Still bearish on the weekly for Microsoft. Only another day or two closing above the 427, and the bearish will become bullish. Nvidia 2% to the downside, inside candle, doji off a trend line. You know this trend line, and another great example of why we need to wait for at least 2 trading days above a major resistance. Monday tried to break above this trend line, then came Tuesday back below it with an inside candle doji, pullback incoming. Let's check the last 21 trading days. Now the 121.60 area is the support. Long continuation above the 130, and we will see 136 and 140.70. Meta still moving sideways. Sorry about that. Moving sideways in the past 6 trading days, stuck between the 519 to the downside as support, below it, back to the 502. Long continuation above 540, and then we will see 566 and 600. Google 0.3% to the upside, inside the yellow zone. Now let's see continuation above the 169, the 50% retracement, and then we will see 172.65 to the upside. Google starting to look very good. Double bottom scenario that can take us all the way to the 172.65, and then towards this gap at the 181.40. Amazon continues to move sideways above the higher border of the yellow zone, the upper border, above the 175.71, but we are still below this trend line. If you're not long yet on Amazon, I would wait for a break above this yellow trend line, first closing this gap, and then 190.60 to the upside, and then back to the 200. AMD. If we take AMD in the last 34 trading days, because we want to catch this high, this low, 61.8, the higher border of the yellow zone, 162.28 doji to the 50% retracement. Some kind of a pullback to the 147.50 area, retesting this yellow trend line that holds the higher lows since Black Monday. We are still bullish on AMD, long continuation above the 162.28, and this gap will get filled. If you're not long yet on AMD, I would wait. Why? Because doji off the 618 Fibonacci retracement after this bull run, high probability we are going for some kind of a pullback. Tesla 0.73% to the downside, still holding above the 216 area, which is a good sign. But if you're not long yet on Tesla, I would wait for another daily close above the 226. Then we will see 237 and 246 gap will get filled. What do you think about Tesla? Where Tesla is heading? Palantir, after a very nice bull run, 2 consecutive dojis, Palantir ended up the day with 0.55% to the downside. 2 dojis after this bull run. Pullback incoming? No one knows. We still need to hold. As long as we are above this yellow trend line, we are good to go long. 30.30 is the support that needs to hold for this bull run. Below it, we are going back to the 28. Bullish on all time frames until proven otherwise on Palantir. If you're not long yet on Palantir, this is not the time to go long on Palantir. If you're already long on Palantir, you need to manage your risk, because these 2 dojis is the most significant signal from candlestick analysis that a pullback is incoming. Netflix 1.5% to the upside. New all-time highs on Netflix. 711.33 to the upside. Now the 684 area is the support. Below it 663. But overall Netflix looks super bullish. Can we get another new all-time highs going all the way to this upper border of this broadening formation towards the 745? Shopify continues to do nothing. 3 consecutive dojis stuck to this upper border of this broadening formation, this uptrend line. We have a gap over here at the 71.91 area, and this gap to the upside just got filled. Let's see continuation where Shopify is heading. As long as Shopify is stuck to this trend line, we are heading north, whether it's stuck from the downside or stuck from the upside. This trend line takes Shopify to the upside. Next resistance is the 83 area. SMCI 2% to the downside. Nothing much on SMCI. Let's check SMCI in the last 21 trading days. SMCI is inside the yellow zone, holding strong above the 603 area. But 3 consecutive dojis. Bulls are not here for SMCI. Bulls are relative weak on SMCI, breaking below the 603. We are heading back to the 548 area. You want to go long on SMCI? Only above 642, closing this gap, and then 680 to the upside. And of course, this is only my opinion. Everything that you see in here on my channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence. Never follow blindly anyone on social media. MicroStrategy still continues to do just nothing in the past 2 trading weeks, holding above the 133, the lower board of the yellow zone, bearish on 3 out of 4 time frames. No long for me on MicroStrategy until proven otherwise. And when I say until proven otherwise, I mean at least breaking above the 142.64 area. AVGO 1% to the downside, 4 trading days, moving sideways between the 159.84 and the 168.37. Long continuation, and we will see 170 921 to the upside. Bullish on all time frames until proven otherwise on AVGO. Eli Lilly 3% to the upside. Eli Lilly went all the way to July 15th highs and got rejected. Now the 920 area is the support, long continuation, and we will see 1026 and 1100 to the upside. Don't go anywhere. Hit the like, subscribe. Now let's check the 5 stocks that caught my eye in the past trading day. As you can see, INCY 1.77% to the upside. 62.16 is the support, starting to curl up. We got ourselves the buy signal from the FTI. Long continuation, 65.28 and then 66 to the upside. PayPal continues its bull run, bullish on all time frames. Now the 69 area from resistance to support, 3.54% to the upside in last trading day for PayPal. Long continuation, and we will see 76.80 and 82 to the upside on PayPal. Next we have AHR, American Healthcare Rate. Very nice uptrend. Now the 1890 area is the support. We have a doji after this bull run, some kind of a pullback, but still bullish on the daily and the weekly and the 4 hours. Long continuation above the 2020, and we will see 2170 and 2350 to the upside. CLX Monday broke this massive long-term downtrend channel since May of 2023. Tuesday, we got ourselves continuation to the upside. Now let's see, 146 area needs to hold the support. Long continuation, and we will see 158 incoming. IQV, very nice price action, bullish on all time frames. Ended up the day, second day, closing above the yellow zone, bullish on all time frames, long continuation, and we will see the 250 area. Above 250, we will see 255 and 262.82 to the upside. Once again, thank you very much for watching this video. I do hope you find it helpful, educational. If so, like, subscribe, check the links in the description below. Join me today on this amazing journey on how to become a profitable trader. Until the next video, stay safe.